every single drop in this beat is just incredible. Okay, so we've got another contest beat today. God, I'm starting to feel like the contest beat guy. Today we are going over my submission for the Cymatics Chaos Beat Contest here in 2020. We're going to be going over things like drum patterns, drum selection, adding depth with chants and effects, as well as beat arrangement and mixing and mastering. I will be playing the final beat at the end of this video, so stick around for that, and be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for future uploads. Now let's get into today's video. Alright, so let's get going through this. So the first thing I do want to show you guys is the melodies, because we are using that for the contest, so let's go over that right now. Alright, so if you look right here, I actually dragged out all the samples. That's the amazing thing about Cymatics, is like, I really don't want to be using that bass throughout the entire beat. I want to cut it out at certain points, and I love to add my own 808s and bass lines. So that's why I dragged out the entire thing right here, all 4 of the samples. Here's the main flute. Then here are the chords. Alright, now you can probably sense a theme in the first couple melodies here, and that's that they're very simple. I'm talking 2 to 4 bar loops simple. And now here's the lead sample. See, they're all just 2 bar loops, which adds a whole lot of room for creativity for the drums. And here's probably my favorite part of the entire sample, which is going to be the sub bass. Okay, now here's what all 4 samples sound like together. Alright, so since these melodies are so simple, it's going to be all my drums and my 808 to really carry the track and keep it interesting. So here's the kick pattern. Simple clap. Then I layered the clap with the snare. And then I have the small rim shot pattern only going on every 4 bars. Now for a track like this, I wanted to build the energy after the hi-hats with a lot of rolls. And then I took all the notes in C, and I took them off the grid by 1 space, and then all the rolls are actually completely quantized. Added an open hat right here. And then finally 1 more open hat just to build more of a groove. Alright, now I did grab these stems from the drill section of this pack, but I really don't think that this is a drill beat. There's certain elements that a drill beat has that I really didn't use in here, but the one thing I did want to keep consistent in this beat are the constant 808 slides. Alright, so I don't think it's very complex so far, but we are just getting into this. I know one thing is very special is all the drums that you guys have seen so far are made by me. I am making a premium pack that I'm not quite sure when it'll be released. I really want to record like a promo video for it, but all these drums are going to be included in that pack. Alright, so my AC just turned on, so hopefully you guys can't hear that, but if you can, then I apologize. Thank God though, I am dying over here in this California heat. It's not been a fun time. It really hasn't. And in every point of the beat where I have the sub going, I do have my 808 going on the bottom, just to help layer it with my kick a little bit more. And here's how the melodies and drums sound together. And now we're going to be moving on to the effects, and these are going to be effects that nobody else has. How do I know that? Because I made them myself, and they're in the unreleased pack, so everything in here is going to be unique and stuff that I created. Alright, so chants and effects add a whole lot of energy and tension to a beat, and I feel like they really make this track whole. They add a ton of depth by keeping your track interesting and letting you be a little bit less predictable when your drops come in. But we will talk a little bit more about predictability in a little bit. I have this vocal stab right here for any drops. This next effect, I really don't know what it is. It kind of just sounds like you're underwater in a certain way. Just listen to it. Like, what is that? Like, I don't even know. I just made it in Serum and then recorded it, and it worked out perfectly for this beat. Now, I wanted this beat to sound really angry and in your face, so what's the best way to build up some sort of hype and aggression? And for me, personally, I think it's gonna be crowd noise and chants, alright? So I made this right here. And I love that effect. I really love that effect. I made that one by accident just by layering 2 different claps, and then it just dragged it out for some reason, and that's how I made that. So that was just perfect. Completely by accident too. And honestly, when you create something by accident, I feel like those are the like hidden gems that you never would have found in the first place. All right, now those are all the effects that I created. Now I'm gonna go on to some more external stuff. I did use some stuff from the Illmind Blap kit, and if you're curious about those sounds, the last video actually went over going a lot of the kits that he has in there, and I made a beat off of it. So if you wanna go check that out, card right up here. No, wait, card's right here. Either way, I have not remembered where it is yet. Now this is a very popular chant, I'm sure you guys will recognize it. Now they did use this chant in the song Rico with Drake and Meek Mill, and I loved that chant and that whole song, so I was really happy to actually get that inside of the pack. And then for a certain part over here, I doubled it and then used some automation to get the volume going. And then finally, one last vocal stab right here, also created by Illmind, right before the initial drop. And I love that vocal stab. It brings in the entire track, so I needed it to be a lot of energy, and that really, really brought it. And then for 4 bars over here, I actually chopped it up and then used some automation in the volume again. All right, and then one last automation over here for the band 1 frequency on the master track. And this is what it all sounds like. And that brings in the last hook over here, and I did double the hook over there as well. Then I just slapped my tag on there, and I've got an amazing beat. Easy, right? Oh, this track was not easy to make. But I do want to go over some of the arrangement that I made in this beat, so let's go look over here. And I want to go over this initial drop right here. Got an 8-bar intro, very easy. A lot of the effects going on at first. I really want to build that energy right off the bat. And then 16 bars right here for the first verse. And usually I would do some sort of pre-hook. I usually use a lot of pre-hooks in my beats, but I did not in this one. And honestly, I did not use any bridges in this beat, which is rare for me. I use bridges in like every single one of my beats. This is how I like to do it. And that is a little bit of a lie. Technically, I do have this 4-bar bridge right here, but I don't really count this as a bridge. It's more of just a pre-hook. And that's when I use this chopped up vocal sample right here. And you can probably tell from right there, the drop is going to be insane. A whole lot of energy coming in. And I know that I've not showed you guys the drop yet, but it's gonna come very shortly. Just wait on it, okay? I'm kind of building up to that point. Right before we get into that drop, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about being unexpected when going into a new part of the song, whether that be a verse, pre-hook, hook, anything, all right? And that is the sole function of having this vocal stab right here that I showed you guys before. And this one over here being dragged out. And I did that by cutting out all the melodies and all the drums, just having room completely for that vocal stab, and then we're gonna go right into the drop. So let's go and go to that right now.
Welcome to the simulation.
God, every single time I hear that drop, man, I am telling you, it's my favorite drop that I've ever done of all time. And that might be crazy to say, but I just love that drop. All right, but the other drop that I want to show you guys is because I did something very similar here.
Simulation.
This is so good every single time. Every single drop in this beat is just incredible. Now, I really didn't do anything too creative inside of the mixing process. All that I really did was try to make room for my kick and my 808s using compression, EQ, and distortion, as those are like the main driving points for this beat. But I did use a couple of mixing buses here, and I use mixing buses on every single beat that I make, and it's just how I like to do it. So let's go and see what we did to the melody bus. So let's go over here to insert 100. I know not everybody has this plugin, it's not stock, I paid for it. But this is Neutron 3 Elements, and it's very simple. If you hit track assist, and it'll listen to your track, and it will help you guide you. It's not gonna be a full-on, you're done, it's gonna be perfectly mixed, but it'll point you in the right direction as far as you're mixing. And here I just EQ'd out more of the low end like I did before, so I really didn't think it needed to do that, but whatever. And then I did do some compression over here, which this is the main reason why I use Neutron Elements, because I just am terrible at compression. I don't know what's the perfect way to do something, so that's why I let this one do that one. The EQ, I'm pretty good at EQ. I really don't need that all that much. And the exciter just added a little bit more distortion, which is not very difficult in the first place too. And then this limiter right here is actually just a sidechain from my kick, making sure that I'm dipping down some of the volume when that kick comes in, giving it even more room. And then over here on insert 101, which is my drum bus, I do have something very similar to the Neutron 3 Elements. EQ'd a little bit of the low end in, added some more distortion right here with the exciter, and then some more compression again. Compression is super important, and it's something that I neglected for a very long time. But if you're listening to a song on Spotify, right, and you hear a kick and you think it's louder than your entire beat, compression, EQ, and distortion are going to be your biggest help, as well as mastering, of course, to getting to the max loudness. But the first step is going to be in your mixing. Then also for the mastering, it's very simple too. I can go over to the fab filter right here, which is not doing anything either. It's only there for the automation so I can dip down the high end at a certain point. And the last thing is going to be Ozone 9. Now I know that a lot of people don't like using things like Ozone because it takes zero brain power. You hit master assist, play the loudest part of your song, and it masters it for you. I know that might sound like it's cheating and that it's too easy, but it just works, all right? When you're a producer like me, and you're doing so many other things from creating a sample pack to creating a beat tape, being a YouTuber, I need to find certain things that are gonna make my life a whole lot easier, and Ozone has done that so much. I just love Ozone 9, it's just amazing. And here's how you know that you have a really good mix, alright? If you look over here, they boosted the low mids slightly, they dipped down a little bit of the lows, and I don't know what it's doing over here. It is a very, very slight boost in the high end, but it really did not do that much at all to that. Dynamics, I don't even have it turned on, so that's nothing right there. This dynamic EQ right here did some certain stuff that I'm not entirely sure what it did. And the main thing is going to be this maximizer right here. I did enable True Peak and put it up to 0.3 dB. The only thing that I changed over here was actually the threshold that had it at -6 dB, and I just lowered it down to -8.6 to have a little bit more limiting. If you don't know what the threshold does, it basically just starts limiting after something reaches above this point right here. And that's it. That's the entirety of this beat. Pretty simple, right?
Welcome to the simulation.
Alright, so there's my submission for the Cymatics Chaos Beat Contest. That is a mouthful to say. Does anyone else feel that their exported WAV file sounds different than their project file? Is that just me? Because making this video, I noticed it sounds a lot different from the beat that I've come to know. So just out of curiosity, leave a comment down below and let me know if you guys have ever experienced anything quite like that. And of course, drop a like down below if you guys did enjoy this video, and subscribe for more future content. Thank you guys so very much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.